Hello, everybody, and welcome to Atheist Sunday School, your one-stop shop for everything Atheist Sunday and school. And boy, do we have a show for you today. Today we are covering Revelation chapters 12 through 13. And, of course, these are some fairly short chapters, but it's the big stuff. We got the number of the beast.
Ooh.
And we got, what is it? We got the woman and the dragon, right? So we got a fucking dragon now. Chris, aren't you excited?
Hey.
Yeah, see, you know what I actually forgot to do? I forgot to share the stream in the actual Discord.
How could you forget such a thing?
I know. I am garbage. I am actual trash.
That is mind-blowing.
But you know what? Today, I figured that since we're covering the devil himself, we can do Halloween early this year. So, yeah, of course, not exactly that time yet, but we have a bunch of candy, as you can see.
Each viewer is allowed one trick-or-treat.
Yeah, let's see who's in here. One trick-or-treat. We got, here, I don't know if I can throw very well. You want to throw these?
Sure.
Okay. First, we got Unagi first.
Unagi.
Up in here. So, Unagi, you get a piece of candy.
Yep.
There it is.
I didn't see it.
No, it kind of saw it. Yeah,
I
saw it. Yeah. Let's see who else. Ryan?
I didn't see it.
It's fine. It's fine.
I don't know what that person's name is.
Lime baby.
Five Lime Baby. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see who's here. Let's fucking go.
Here you go. Well,
Jesus.
Fuck. Well, let's not throw it directly at the screen.
At the television. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see who else. Matthew's in here. Matthew and Christopher. Great. Not you, Christopher. Other one. So Matthew.
Jesus Christ. Why are you doing this, Lawrence?
I hit the mic. All right. Great. You guys have gotten your pieces of candy. All right. Trick or treat. That's what you fucking get. And you know what? I should really share this.
Wow.
Because we're having a good time. Do you like the devil horns?
Yeah, well, yours are fake, but mine are definitely real, as the viewers can see on the camera. I don't have the little headband thing that he does, or maybe it's very cleverly hidden behind the headphones.
Perhaps, yes. Perhaps.
So, yes, what happened is our demon summoning from way back when.
It finally worked.
It finally worked, and now we're demons.
Oh, great job.
That's us. We are demons. Please bow down to our Dark Lord.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure. Great. You know, some Christian is going to clip that.
Hey, I mean, yeah, probably. They totally will. Absolutely. Tomer, you also, hey, you get a piece of candy. I hope you like Snickers. That was good. That was pretty good.
That was a good one.
Let's see who else. We got, is it Silvu? I don't know, but you get some Twix.
SGP. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. SGP.
Enjoy.
Yeah, we're gonna have to clean all this shit up too.
Yeah, you're gonna have to clean up after your mess that you make.
True. But also, Tomer, hope you're staying safe.
Yeah.
With all this shit going on in Israel right now.
You know, it's absolutely nuts. And it just goes to show that religion is a poison.
And here's the thing, because they were doing fine for like a while, historically speaking. But then, because a lot of people would argue that this is still, a political thing.
It's partially a political thing.
Yeah, but the thing is, the politics are rooted in religion is the thing.
Yeah.
So like, while it's not like an outright religious war, the foundational ideology for this conflict is religion.
Yeah.
While it's not overtly about it. Like, they're not fighting about whose God is better.
No.
But it's unfortunately the stem of it.
I mean, they're fighting over who gets to hang out at God's house.
At God's house, yes.
Right? That's what it comes down to. What a ridiculous and petty thing.
Or in his land even, but like, yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, it's really unfortunate what's going on over there.
Yep. But some people justify it There are celebrations being held in nations across the world by these pro-Palestinian groups. And they're like smiling and cheering as all this is going on.
Yeah, because they view it as, because there was already kind of, some, because the Israeli government was kind of treating them like fucking garbage for a long time. So the way that they view this is like, they're coming out against that. They're rebelling against their oppressors, right? But at the same time, they're doing it against civilians.
Yeah. And in the most like gruesome and horrific ways.
Yeah,
too.
Seriously.
Like people talk, there are historical events that people think of like fairy tales, right? Like the Druids having these heads on spikes alongside the roads.
Literally, I think it's called Cult of the Head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is the kind of crazy shit that's happening there right now. Like they're doing vulgar things to corpses. It's not good.
Yeah, it's really messed up. Also, Jasper and Chalkomatic, you guys get pieces of candy because you're here for Halloween.
Yeah, there you go. Trick or treat.
That was bad.
Okay.
That was better.
Yeah, I guess. Slightly.
Right, yeah. I don't want to just...
I don't think any of these are properly showing up on the camera.
A couple of them have.
A couple of them.
Literally two.
For like a brief second.
Yeah, look good though. I like those.
You guys get the candy. All right. So
I have the King James version of the Bible.
I have the English Standard Version of the Bible.
I have the...
Probably. No, I don't. It's actually on the table.
Oh,
but,
wow.
But I have other Bibles.
No, go get your Bible that you have to read.
I have...
oh, jeez.
I have a lot of... We got some versions here, right? We got...
we got the NIV Study Bible. We got the, Jewish Annotated New Testament. Erdman's commentary on the Bible.
We also have from the New Interpreter's Bible, the New Testament Survey. We have the Greek New Testament, a textual guide to the Greek New Testament. We also have from Robert Mounts, his commentary on Revelation.
As well as commentaries on Revelation by Morris and
Sweet, and Jürgen Roloff.
Yes. We have Josephus and the Septuagint and everything we might need somewhere.
Yeah, that is true. We got some text of the New Testament stuff. Let's actually pull up some stuff about. So I think it's the last. It's the last verse of
Which
chapter.
text
13.
of the New Testament are you going to be reading from?
Because well, you know what? I could read from both, but I mean, we have from Bruce Metzger and Kurt and Barbara Allen's text of the New Testament.
Yep. Jasper.
No, we already gave one to Jasper.
Jasper.
Yeah, you got a piece of candy. You don't get another piece of candy. Everybody gets one.
Jasper, don't try your luck.
This is socialism.
You know those houses that would leave the bowl out and would have the little sign that says "Take one"?
Yeah, except people would definitely not
Tsunami
take one.
Get one.
Oh no, Tsunami did not get one. You get one. Fuck.
Jesus Christ, Lawrence.
That sort of showed up on camera though.
Gonna break the equipment.
Good thing it's just a piece of candy. But you know what they say about enough pieces of candy.
If you
they can
throw
break
them into a TV over and over again, it can break the screen.
Yes, that is what I heard. They actually advertised that.
I wonder how many pieces of candy it would take. How many pieces of candy thrown does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of this television?
Wow.
Good question. We're going to have to write a paper on that. Anyways.
The world may never know.
Yep. Oh, let's see. Who is this? Terracotta. Yeah, I don't know. But you get a piece of candy.
Yeah, there you go. You enjoy that piece of candy, Terracotta.
Yeah, you get it. You get it.
Jason.
And Jason is here, man.
Jason,
everyone.
I'll give you a piece.
Something
of
without
candy.
chocolate.
No,
all
Twix
these
doesn't have real chocolate, I'm sure.
Really?
Yeah, sorry about that. You Yeah, these are all chocolate. We got Three Musketeers, Snickers, and Twix. So
Yeah,
that's what we got.
But if you want the home baked muffins that may or may not have something in them,
Something special.
something dangerous.
Yeah.
You know, that happened like once or twice, I think. Like for real, like
To
someone.
you?
No, not to me.
Oh.
Like there were news stories about people putting things in Halloween candy,
Right. Yeah.
right? But it wasn't like a widespread thing, right? It was like a couple of occurrences here and there.
Right. There was like that one guy who gave out like Coke or some shit to like, or was it actual like angel dust to, like kids in the community when you put in pixie sticks? There was one guy.
Jeez.
There was one guy who did that.
That guy.
They
First
caught him
of all-
basically like kind of right away.
Yeah, of course. First, that's absurd. Second of all, how much money do you think he put into this project?
I have no idea.
How much money do you think a pixie stick of that is worth? I can't imagine.
I don't actually.
It's an
Oh no, sorry. Wait, no, maybe it was like laced with like cyanide or something like that.
Oh,
but like,
jeez, that's
still,
even worse.
Still, like it was like something bad in the actual pixie stick.
Yeah.
But the thing is, yeah, assume Mommy knows exactly what I'm talking about. He was gonna kill his kid, right? But to cover it up, he gave out multiple. So,
What?
yeah, they caught him very, very shortly,
You know,
right?
we're not a true crime podcast.
Shouldn't be either.
Okay, so yeah,
But-
it was with cyanide. Okay.
But
Could
we
be a
can
fake.
make exceptions.
Yeah.
So for this true crime episode, we're going to be talking about the crimes of
Oh, but only
chapter
his
12,
kid ate one. Okay, gotcha. I'm misremembering that story then.
Revelation. And you
Yeah.
know what? Since you don't have the ESV on you,
It's,
I'm going to challenge you, Lawrence.
Oh no.
I'm going to make you do something that you never thought you would have to do.
Does it read in a commentary?
No.
Oh, what it?
No, I want you to read the Greek and translate live on the air as we go along.
Oh man, I don't think that's.
I want you to
I can't
provide
do that.
live textual commentary
I
as
can't
you
do that.
translate on the spot.
I can probably do a little, but I'm not going to be able to do the whole thing. That's just not going to happen.
We'll get there.
Yeah, one
Maybe
day.
on like your third time around.
Third time reading the Bible. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, you'll do the Septuagint, and then that'd really appeal to Greek speakers.
Yeah, that is true.
Yes.
It would.
Yep.
It's all the ancient Greek speakers we have in our audience.
Yeah. Anyways, why don't I hop into chapter 12?
I don't know.
Well, why don't you think of a reason?
Okay, I will, but hold on until then.
But you have to keep it to yourself.
Oh, I will. Okay, I thought of a reason, but I'm not going to tell you.
Wonderful. I'm glad that you thought of a reason. I'm glad I could be part of this. Anyways, chapter 12. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. And she, being with child, cried, travailing in birth and pained to be delivered. Okay.
Yeah, already a lot, huh?
So
I want to put that in as an AI prompt for Bing AI. That whole thing.
those two verses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, already a lot. So
I'm
we
sure
have
it would
we
go
have some
nuts.
astral type of vision.
So my
Right.
dad thinks that this is a reference to a constellation that has some particular star within its womb right now, and that's a sign of the end times.
Okay, yeah, within its womb. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But but I mean, the thing is,
wombs are just, whatever those things are called. Nebula.
yeah, I mean, one of the things here is so this is from
It's not
well,
a DMT dream, Aarakota. Okay?
we've been over this
We've
already.
been over this, but in brief summation, no. The imagery is very well planned out. The author very much was well read.
Yeah, like he is taking from very concrete and well-known traditions to build up this new
Polemic against Rome.
well yeah for this book, yeah, it's a polemic against Rome. But yeah, essentially he is taking he's taking like I said, well-known traditions and repurposing them to his own theological purpose.
I was thinking about this, and I think that Revelation is kind of like a greatest hits album.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Of apocalyptic literature.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Now the thing is, we all know that the greatest hits are actually the B-sides that aren't on the greatest hits album, right?
If you say so.
Absolutely.
Wim, hey, hello, Wim. You get a piece of candy.
There you go. We hope you enjoy
Did that kind of show up on? No, it didn't. Okay,
No.
man, it's okay. I think I know where we have to shoot it, right? So like the between the TV and the camera, right? There's that little gap.
I think
so. We
you
have to throw it
aim
like
at the metal circle underneath the lens.
Oh,
there.
yes, that's a good idea. Okay. No, you did not get the whole bowl. Everybody gets one, all right? No, everybody gets one.
In fact, dump out your pillowcase into the bowl. You've shown your true colors.
Oh, yeah, by the way, Ericcata, that's exactly what we'll be talking about today. Although I wouldn't say already happened necessarily. That that is a preterist view. But yes, like the beast being Nero, yes, absolutely.
There was an established tradition of people who believed that Nero would return to life.
Yes, we will be talking about that in depth.
Yes. Yep. Which we haven't really had the occasion to talk about outside of Apocrypha for very, very long time.
Right.
All right. So what do you think about this woman clothed with the sun, the moon under her feet, upon her head a crown of 12 stars? This sounds like astral symbolism.
Right. So the first of these traditions surely goes back finally to the astrological myth of the goddess of heaven who gives birth to the sun every day, and of the dragon of darkness who pursues to devour her. So goes the Egyptian saga that the pregnant goddess Hathor or Isis, pursued by the red dragon Typhon or Seth, fled to an island in the Nile Delta where she bore her child, the sun god Horus. When Horus had grown up, they engaged Seth in battle. That's right. This is the contendings of Seth and Horus. And killed them. The Asia Minor Hellenistic variants of this saga deal with the goddess Leto. When the great dragon Python, the oracle serpent of Delphi, had learned that Apollo, the yet unborn child of Leto, was going to destroy him, he laid in wait for her on the island of Delos, to which the north wind had delivered Leto for safekeeping. She bore Apollo and his twin sister Diana. Only 4 days after his birth, Apollo left to kill the dragon. That is one of that is some of the background material for. I'm reading this out of order, because all of these are like, which one's the oldest one, right? So there's motifs of
all of the themes that you just talked about are covered within within this chapter.
Within the chapter, yeah.
In general, right? So this is going to be apparent as we go through here, and it's going to serve a particular purpose, right? It's trying to engage in this further Hellenized Judaism.
Oh, hold on. Obviously, a particular stellar constellation is being considered here whenever the sun passes into the sign of Virgo, which was often equated with Isis by the ancients. Then the full moon stands at her feet in the night sky. This heavenly phenomenon, visible to all, is interpreted now as a portent that is a proclaiming reference to events of the end time. Quite analogously, in early Christian apocalyptic tradition, mention is made of more or less extraordinary heavenly signs that signal a coming event. In the Middle Ages, devotion to Mary saw the mother of Jesus in Virgo. That is interesting. I did not know that part.
Yeah.
And they link her up to the Queen of Heaven. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And that's what my dad was referring to with his end times prophecy.
Yet the context rules out this interpretation of a specific historical specific historical figure. The heavenly woman, rather, is an image. Well, he uses it as the end time salvation, or interpretation as the symbol of the church. Because we've had that before, even in this time period.
Yes, in Hermas, it was a very big thing.
Yeah.
Here, the vivid drama of the pregnant woman and the dragon is a portent, a symbol to be decoded rather than a specific heavenly being. The woman should be compared to other symbolic women in apocalyptic visions, such as in 4th Ezra 9:38 through 10:54, rather than identified as the Virgin Mary, with whom she came to be linked in the 6th century.
Right, which I noted. That was a later interpretation, which I didn't know about.
Yes. She also...
but I guess it makes sense, right, if she's pregnant.
Yeah, she recalls contemporaneous goddesses like Isis and Astarte. The 12 stars, if the woman is Israel, from whom the Messiah is born, these would represent the 12 tribes, right? The birth pangs draw on the image of childbirth as a metaphor for the pain and suffering that accompanies the dawning of a new age.
Oh, yeah, because like they're always talking in the Old Testament about like the pangs of childbirth, right?
Right. Isaiah and Jeremiah in particular associated this with like a change that was coming, right? But like in general, comparing life-changing events, right, to the pains of childbirth. But the pains of childbirth are, of course, a classical image, and it calls back to Eve within the Genesis story because that's her legacy.
Right.
Because she broke a rule.
Got stuck with that.
She broke a rule that she wasn't told. Adam was told before she was made. So, yeah.
Oh, by the way, hey, make sure you guys tell people that you can get candy here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Tell them. Tell them that we're doing trick or treat early this year.
Yeah. And you can tell us thank you by dropping a fucking like, you goddamn heathens.
I like the idea that this is the pregnant Israel, right? Because
yeah, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty. It calls back to all of the like Israel is married to God imagery that we've seen. Now, the idea that a messianic figure is born from the literal embodiment of Israel, which is for all intents and purposes, the nation that has a covenant with God, right? The earthly kingdom that has a covenant with God, right? The point is to communicate something symbolic about the role of the Messiah in their theology. Anyways, and there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his heads. Now, don't tell me this is a jackal, Lawrence, because
It's a jackal.
the KJV has had a history of referring to jackals as dragons. This had better be an actual fucking dragon.
My guess is that it is a dragon. In Norse red dragon,
Jackals.
7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns flung them to the earth.
It's identified in verse 9 as the devil, Satan.
Yes.
Recall the 7 heads and cosmic destructiveness of the ancient Semitic chaos monster Lotan or Leviathan, portrayed in ancient Near Eastern art with 7 heads. See, Lawrence, pull out Psalm 74:13 through 14.
Which one?
Psalm
Okay.
74.
Now I got to pull out a Septuagint for this one.
Either the Psalms or Job. Pick one.
Psalms or Job?
Yeah, pick one.
Okay, I'll pick Psalms.
Okay, Psalm 74, verses 13 through 14. Though, because it's Septuagint, I don't know if that's different.
Oh, shit. Yeah, you're right.
Just give it a once over.
Okay, fair enough. Let's see. Psalm 74. So it's over here somewhere. All right. Psalm 74. And you said, what were the verses?
13 through 14.
All right. Well, let's see if this is the same. It looks like it is. And I gotta adjust these horns. They're totally real horns, actually. I don't have to adjust anything because they're
behind.
totally real. And They're not gonna fall off my head or anything. Thou didst establish the sea in thy might. Thou didst break to pieces the heads of the dragons in water. Thou didst break to pieces the heads of the dragon. Thou didst give him for meat to the Ethiopian nations.
Yeah, the dragon here
This is in the Septuagint.
Yeah, it's the Leviathan. It's established that the Leviathan's purpose is to serve as meat during an apocalyptic.
Yes, that is true. We have had that reference before.
Yes.
Yep.
So, is this the Leviathan?
Well, let's see. Woman, dragon, and the male child. So the second sign, of course, this big ass dragon.
Well, let me finish the dragon piece.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Then. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. Okay, this is like Zeus, right? This is like the what was his name? Zeus's dad.
Kronos?
Kronos. Yeah, the Kronos story. He would always consume his children immediately. That was why.
Yeah, because he was worried about being overthrown.
Yeah. You know, there's an aside here that's going to come up in chapter 13 that I think is going to be interesting about chaos monsters. But for right now, let's talk about this dragon, okay? It has a specific number of heads. So here it's associated with Leviathan because of the number of heads. But the horns. The 10 horns is possibly a reference to various rulers, but specific identification is not possible. Obviously, this is a very short portion dedicated to these horns.
It is very short, yeah.
John imagines the dragon receiving the infant directly from the woman's womb into its mouth.
Also, yeah, we have to keep in mind Okay, so the appearance of this dragon, at least in the Septuagint, links him with the great red dragon. Using in the Septuagint for the Leviathan. His appearance links him with the scarlet beast of 17:3 and the 10-horned beast of Daniel 7, the model for the 7-headed beast, which the dragon summons from the sea, which is going to be in the beginning of the next chapter. So this one does seem to just be part of the, this kind of chasing, just kind of making sure that they will stop whatever comes out of this woman. So this one seems more about part of the whole narrative
Now I want you
instead
to
of its own motif.
Yeah. I want you to open up Psalm 2, verse 9.
Ugh,
as
man.
I read this verse. Psalm 2, verse 9.
I gotta find it again.
And she brought forth a man-child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron. And her child was caught up unto God and to his throne. So this is a Messiah figure, obviously, right? But here he ascends very early, I guess in part to save him from the impending danger.
You will rule them with a rod of iron. You shall dash them in pieces as a potter's vessel.
What's the context of this?
He that dwells in the heavens shall laugh them to scorn, and the Lord shall mock them. Then shall he speak to them in his anger and trouble them in his fury. But I have been made king by him on Zion, his holy mountain, declaring the ordinance of the Lord. The Lord said to me, you are my son. Today I have begotten you. Ask of me, and I will give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the ends of the earth for thy possession. And then it says that you will rule. And stuff, yeah.
Okay, here we go. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she hath a place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days.
Oh, so that's was that 1,000?
203 score. 1260, right?
Yeah, 1,260.
Yeah. And there was war in heaven.
I do want to note one thing here. So yeah, the verse refers to the destructive power as the small horn in Daniel 8, symbolizing the dreadful king Antiochus, grows up to heaven in order to hurl stars from there to the earth. So here the dragon sweeps the stars from the sky with its tail. The first and central object. Yeah, so it's, yeah. Okay. Makes sense there.
And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought, and his angels, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Now, Satan has become a singular, defined character, completely solidified. Not only that, but by the mention of is called, right? It implies a widespread usage of this terminology referring to a specific entity. So at this point in time, Satan is the devil within the worldview of John of Patmos.
Yeah, definitely. So it's definitely developed to that point. And let's see, it seems like
the serpent, that old serpent.
Right, yeah.
Right? That certainly calls back to the Genesis story. Now, we've already had some references to some ancient Near East literature within Revelation before.
Mm-hmm.
This recalls, to me, the stories of Eve being seduced by Satan, thus birthing Cain, right?
Right, sure.
That the Sethians hold very seriously. It's part of why they are Sethians, right? They claim to be of the lineage of Seth. So this recalls a lot of imagery from a lot of different kind of literature.
There's quite a lot to talk about here.
There is a lot to talk about. Now we're kind of in this anime battle.
Oh, yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah. The mother of God, right? Well, the mother of the Messiah here functionally, right? Israel, right? Let's interpret it that way. Israel has produced a child and has fled into the wilderness. And while Israel has fled into the wilderness...
Well, it would be the church, though.
Yeah, of course it's the church, because within their theology, they refer to themselves as the descendants of Abraham through the Spirit.
Yes, yeah.
Right?
That's true.
So they are Israel. Of course, Israel wouldn't see it that way. It's kind of presumptuous on their part. But there's a place for the actual Jews, right, in the 144,000 that we went over. Anyways, if we interpret this as Israel fleeing into the wilderness, then maybe this is something to do with the destruction of the temple, right?
Sure, yeah.
Resulting in a more widespread Jewish diaspora.
True.
Right. And with this more widespread Jewish diaspora, you would
what you're talking about is an oppressor, right? Because they would have to, in order to like worship or something, they would have to go out into the wilderness, right? Because they can't do it in public or maybe even at home.
Not even just that, they're sent out into the wilderness. They have a place prepared there by God that has food ready for them, right? Which recalls the the Exodus story.
Right, yeah, manna, right.
Right. So it's almost like there was this expectation following the destruction of the Second Temple that some kind of new Exodus would take place.
Yeah.
Following up on the prophet like Moses, right?
Right, yeah. Although on this, so we've talked about this on the show before, right? But what Satan was before has now at this point entirely changed. So I don't think we want to dwell too much on what Satan used to mean and what it does mean now. So I do just want to talk about a little bit about the whole Michael stuff, right? So this incredible war in heaven, right? The Babylonian account. Let's see. They're talking about the accuser, right, and then the dragon being Satan and his angels. According to Jewish thoughts, Satan, he was once an angel who attempted to achieve equality with God, whereupon, according to Enoch, he was cast out of heaven with his angels and flies continuously in the air. Can you pull out 2nd Enoch? So it's 2nd Enoch 29, 4 through 5. 2nd Enoch 29, 4 through 5. The Babylonian account of the expulsion of Ishtar, goddess of the morning star, is parallel. Allusions to this fall may occur. Says allusions in Isaiah 14, but honestly, that's just about the king getting too big for his britches. That's something completely different. And of course, 1 Timothy 3.
You said 2nd Enoch 29?
Yes.
4 through 5?
Yes.
This only goes to 4.
Really? Is 5 not in like the middle of the verse?
It's referring to, and I threw him out from the height with his angels, and he was flying in the air continuously above the bottomless.
Okay, gotcha. Then 1 Timothy 3:6, or he may become conceited and fall under the same judgment as the devil. Yet elsewhere, Satan is depicted as having access to heaven. We talked about that before. This may have led to the expectation of a final celestial battle that would precede the consummation.
We've already
In
had
the Sibylline oracles and 2nd Maccabees and Josephus.
Interesting.
Oh, okay.
But we've already had that epic anime battle that happened in, what was it, 4th Ezra?
No.
No.
No, that was in the Apocalypse.
The Apocalypse of Elijah.
Elijah, yes.
Yes. The Apocalypse of Elijah has this Elijah and Enoch teaming up to have an anime fight with Satan. Right? That's already happened. They were just referred to as two prophets, right? Which, hey, maybe that is an intentional reference to that piece. I'm not sure. It depends on when everything's dated, but interesting nonetheless.
By the way, yeah, it's the Archangel Michael, not the Messiah, who wars against Satan in this final struggle. In Daniel 12, Michael is presented as the guardian of Israel, who in the last days will deliver them from tribulation. Somewhat later, he is pictured as a mediator between God and man, who will stand up against the kingdom of heaven in the Testament. Is that Testament, Daniel? He is the angelic intercessor who contended with the devil about the body of Moses. We talked about that. It is he who will go forth in victory against Satan. So that is quite interesting. That's not the Messiah. It's instead Michael who's doing this.
Yeah. So, all right. Let's carry on from here. We have this epic battle scene between Michael and the devil, and the Watchers are being cast down.
Right? Good.
And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, "Now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our God day and night."
See, this is, okay, when he's saying that he's cast down, that's the parallel with Isaiah 14, right? That's the parallel that shows you it's about some ruler who once again, just like the guy in Isaiah 14, has gotten too big for his fucking britches, thinks he can stand up, but he can't. God's gonna knock him down. What's that song from Johnny Cash? God's gonna cut him down.
Yeah,
That's a good song.
that's gonna cut you down.
Yeah, that's a good song.
It's pretty good. So they've cast down this accuser, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
It's also they've established that by being because of the blood of the Lamb, that they have essentially redeemed them too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Samami, Unagi didn't like the background.
Oh,
I don't know if that's why she's not here, but you know what?
ooh.
Do you think she would find Devil Horn Reuben hot?
No.
Maybe that's a little too sinful.
Yep.
April, hello. April, you get some candy for joining.
Enjoy it.
Oh, that went pretty well, didn't it?
Yep.
There
That
you
was
go.
pretty good.
Ah, that was pretty good. There you go.
Pretty good.
Okay. So he has a short time, and when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child.
Man, it's so dumb that they're using the word man-child. Like, I know that's the KJV, right? And man-child has a completely different connotation now, but that's still so funny to me.
Yeah. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time, and times, and half a time,
Wait.
from the face of the serpent.
Oh, okay, okay, that makes more sense. Okay, from the face of the serpent, because my translation was just a little bit different. The order was different. So yeah, but the woman was given the 2 wings of the great eagle, that she might fly from the serpent into the wilderness to the place where she is to be nourished for a time, times and half a time. Yeah.
Perhaps
it was
the
just out of
eagle
order.
of 813. Not clear.
Good times.
Yeah, there's
This would be 3.5 times, by the way. Time and times and half a time.
Time
It's
after
3.5 times.
I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah, that makes sense.
Mhm.
So this idea of an eagle, right? We've had eagle usage before, especially when like going up to heaven.
Right. In
Right.
chapter 8, verse 13
Mhm.
in Revelation, we have some eagle imagery. However, it's not exactly clear what they're going for with this. Here, it's her means of escape.
Right. That is true. Yeah, definitely escaping. And going into, I guess, suffering half of the required period of time, or not required, but the I guess half of the full time. I don't know exactly how to put it right, because if you're doing it out of 7, it's like completion
Mhm.
motifs. So something about not completing it.
3.5 is half of 7.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So that's intentional.
Yes.
And
We had that
as-
before as well.
And as an intentional choice, maybe it lines up with the other one that we had before.
I would think so. Yeah.
What's the other one that we had before?
I forget what chapter it was. I'm sure someone in chat probably remembers, but that was their time of exile, right? That was 42 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, times and half a time. That was in chapter 11.
And this would make sense because it's referring to the woman who we've established as the figure of Israel being given 2 wings in order to fly into the wilderness.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So this is another reference to the diaspora community
Yeah.
following some cataclysm.
Yeah, they'll trample you for 40. They'll trample on the holy city for 42 months. Yeah. So that was the reference, but it would have been the same. 1,260 days.
So between 4 and 8,
Something like that.
or D2.
Oh, sure.
And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. Sounds like the life of Adam and Eve.
True. Also, if you're carrying her away with the flood, right? Do you remember when God was all like, "Hey, I'm not gonna do it with the flood next time.
Mhm.
He's doing it with fire."
Mhm.
If this is, the devil, Satan, the accuser,
Mm.
he wouldn't have a problem doing it with the flood. Also, I want to say, I do want to thank people for being in here. I also want to please say to drop a like. This is more people than we've had in here for a while. So I'm very thankful. We were up at 25. So very thankful for people being here. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream. Hey, and you know what? If you chat and you haven't chatted before, you get a piece of candy because it's Halloween, I guess, now. So
You should enter into heated
get-
discussions about
get some candy.
contemporary world events.
that too.
Yep.
Yeah.
In our comment, or our
But
live
be nice,
chat.
Be nice about
But
it. though.
be nice. Don't get banned.
Right. Don't get banned. If you get banned, we might get banned. Don't do that.
Don't do it.
All right.
Yep.
But
And the
this
earth-
idea of the flood, right?
Mhm. And the earth helped the woman. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth.
Sorry, I do want to be clear here on something. So Jewish literature supplies no parallels to verse 15. It could refer to some event in the war of 66 through 73 that threatened to cut off the escape of the church from Jerusalem, or less likely to a literal flood, such as the one that prevented the Jews of Gadara from escaping across the Jordan from the Romans in March of 68. That's an interesting interpretation.
Now, there's disagreement
Actually,
here
yeah,
because the
I would
Jewish
actually think
annotated-
that's pretty interesting, right?
Yeah, but the Jewish annotated New Testament totally disagrees. It says that Leviathan, which we've already had copious references to in this interpretation, Leviathan is associated with floods and uncontrollable waters in Exodus 15:8 and in Psalm 29:10. Waters pouring from the dragon's mouth invert the image of childbirth in verse 4b. Also, earth here is Greek ge,
Yeah.
G-E.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a helpful female force. Right? See 2nd Baruch 6:8-9.
Just so we're clear, earth is a feminine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the word is feminine.
Unlike in Numbers, where the swallowing earth is punitive.
Oh, yes, Ellis, hello. You get some candy.
Yes, Alice, enjoy the candy. Yeah.
There you
But
go.
no.
Shots are getting better.
You remember that, I'm sure, in Numbers, how the earth swallowed up
Yep.
these people.
Yeah, that was, we actually just read that on Blasphemous Bible. It was in the, that weird story with, it was Korah's rebellion, right?
Mm-hmm.
It also had Dathan and Abiram. Alice,
Thank you,
with
Alice.
the 1999 huge
Wow, thanks, bro.
Wonderful.
big dono. And that is a very is that a heart? Is that a heart on the sticker? Is that a hat? I don't know what that is, but
It's kind of an unfortunate color combination.
it really is. It's like on the orange, right? But it's
Orange,
like,
pink, blue, yellow.
yeah, it doesn't really work. The pink on the orange, huh?
It kind of blends in.
Yeah, really hard to see. But either way,
At least on this screen.
Very much
Probably all
appreciated.
after all that discoloration from throwing candy at it.
oh, who did that? That wasn't surely not us.
Mhm.
No. But also, yeah, I do like the interpretation of like, hey, here's this flood that stopped them.
Yeah.
I kind of it might not be that, but I like that interpretation. I'm not entirely convinced of it.
But
But
the
yeah,
earth-
actually, you just mentioned Dathan and Abiram,
Yeah.
right? Swallowing them up. Yep. That is also mentioned by Roloff as well.
Mm.
We've become true scholars.
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
Which is why these PhDs refer to us as their colleagues. Oh, they refer to you.
That
as
is true.
their
That
colleague.
one time at least. That was pretty nice.
But I'm your colleague, and you are their colleague.
right.
And by
I'm your
virtue
superior. Get back to
of
work.
the
The transitive property.
the transitive property of colleagueship,
yeah.
that
you are the
thusly
colleague. Yeah.
makes me their colleague.
Absolutely. Also, Freddie, you get a piece of candy.
Yep.
Oh shit. Whatever, it's fine.
Enjoy.
Everything's fine.
Yep.
Everything's fine. All right.
Anyways, and the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus Christ. So here they're referring, because the Jews have already been saved. The 144,000 have been set aside.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have those who are keeping the testimony of Jesus Christ, who are the expanded line of Abraham through the spiritual seed of Abraham, right? Which is kind of nonsense, given how thoroughly it's been established as a literal lineage type tribal society deal, right? But okay. Yep. And that was the end of chapter 12. Hey, Lawrence,
Yeah.
do you hear something?
Oh, I do hear something. What is that? On Satan's day?
Yeah.
Behold, I am your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and I want to let all you heathens and sinners know that I support this wonderful episode of Atheist Sunday School. Lawrence and Reuben try their very best to bring you the true glory of the Bible, and they need your help. They have provided links to their Patreon page and other social media just for you. Once again, my name is Jesus Christ, and this is Milwaukee Atheists. The Lord is with them. God bless.
It's over.
Woo! That's the end of that.
These are completely real. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Although I did see that quick switch there. Very well done. Nothing happened. Everything is perfectly normal. These are my horns. I am the devil.
Yeah, sure.
So,
Yep.
Out of
Here-
context,
here he
everyone.
is, the dragon himself.
yep, there I am. So, hopping. And so since I left the ESV over on the table, what I am probably going to be reading from here is Mounce's version.
Wow.
No, you're going to be reading the Greek.
No, I could also read the Greek.
You got to at least try.
All right. Let's
Given
read a
that
little
you
bit of
put
Greek.
yourself into this position.
Yeah, into this precarious situation.
Yes.
Individual.
But before you do so, let me tell you a little bit about Chapter 13. Now, it's going to feature some chaos monsters. The bizarre polymorphic beasts.
Yo,
that arise.
Sumami with the 199, huge. Is that? Wait,
Thank
does that say
you.
behold? Am I reading that right?
I don't know.
No, it says thanks. Okay,
Oh,
it
wow.
looked like behold from here. Jeez, that would have been awesome. But thank you, very much appreciated.
Yep. This bizarre polymorphic beasts that arise in chapter 13 to threaten and delude the earth belong to the most archaic biblical traditions of creation and would have been easily recognized as such by early audiences. The idea that the God of Israel, like other Canaanite gods, defeated and bound Leviathan or Rahab, a sea monster, as well as other monsters at the beginning of time, is invoked in such disparate biblical sources as Psalm 74 and Job 41, and Isaiah calls for its reenactment to perfect the earth again in Isaiah 27 and 51. While many sources from John's own period refer to these primordial beasts by name, such as 1st Enoch, 2nd Baruch, and 4th Ezra, the book of Daniel had begun a tradition of imagining their anonymous reappearance in horrific terms that reflected the imperial powers of history, as in Daniel 7. Thank you for the €5.
Is that denum? Is that how that's pronounced? Either way, behold, you get yourself a piece of candy.
Yep, you enjoyed that candy. Trick or treat.
Trick or treat.
My house is ruined.
Yep, your house is ruined. This is all Lawrence's fault.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. This is fine. Everything is fine.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I might just bring these to work or something.
Are you gonna
But no,
throw 'em
this
at people?
sorry, this
there
is
too?
actually Chris's thing. I'm not gonna bring that to
Oh,
work.
wow.
But
Like a bag or whatever.
yeah, I'll take a bag or something. Yeah.
Daniel 7, they reflect the imperial powers. And it is this visionary tradition that John draws upon in chapter 13. Even if he does not point it out here, the reader is supposed to recognize them as primordial chaos monsters. Other frightening beasts in Revelation draw on the same archaic traditions of chaos and creation. The seven-headed Satan dragon in chapter 12 owes much to early images of Leviathan, as in Isaiah 27:1, while its harassment of the woman and infant follow more closely the Greek myth of Leto and the child Apollo, threatened by the monster python.
Is that hold on? Sylvia, is that Romanian? Is that what that is? But either way, thank you for 25 of it.
Are McDonald's Dollarinos.
McDonald's Dollarinos?
Yep, from Ron.
Racist,
Okay.
sexist,
Ronald McDonald.
All right.
blasphemous.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys like McDonald's Dollarinos, press like.
Who doesn't like McDonald's Dollarinos?
Appreciated.
As I was saying, the Satan dragon is said to serve God's eschatological designs in 1717 before its destruction in 29 through 10. So also the minor demon Death, a latter version of the ancient Canaanite drought monster Mot, serves first as an agent of divine wrath in 6:7 through 8 before its destruction in 2014. This paradoxical status, instrument of God and enemy of God, pertains to many demonic figures in ancient Jewish and Christian literature, from Satan and the serpent of Eden to the overseers of hell. So, with that being said, let's hop into this chapter.
Yeah, I would give the interpretation of this. So I went into a very detailed discussion of this exact chapter in my video on Revelation. So if you're interested in the big breakdown where I'm arguing for the identification of the heads based on who has an imperial cult, that's what I was basing them on. And then one of the heads that was said to be dead but was also said to be returning, because it said that the head had a mortal wound. So the interpretation, we have a dead king who is thought to be coming back. That is the kind of crux of the Nero hypothesis there, because of course Nero died at some point, but there was this myth that he had went and run off with that he had hid with the Parthians, and that he was going to come back. This idea of Nero Redivivus pops up in a whole bunch of places, including the Sibylline oracles, which we did mention before.
Yes,
also,
thank you
Paris,
for 1999.
Two of you are on the horns of a dilemma, it seems.
Oh.
Yes, it seems that we are. It
Yeah.
seeh that we are.
Look
So.
out.
But yeah, Nero also took his life. Yeah, he had a mortal wound. There's also reference in the Sibylline oracles to like him coming from like the house of Beliar, right?
Yes.
Sorry. He was Beliar from the house of Sebastanoy, which was the royal house, I think. So there is a ton. I go over it far more in depth in my video on Revelation, so please go watch that. I love doing that video. Revelation is such a cool book. We're getting dragons and shit. So how about but yeah, I worked off of the imperial cult idea. But either way, yeah, how about we start with chapter 13?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Kai edon ektes talase sterion anabainon.
English.
I
please?
recognize a
Sorry,
couple of words there.
Did you? Okay,
Carry
let's
on,
see.
Right?
Yeah. What did you recognize?
Just translate it instantly.
I don't
Come on.
recall what it means.
It means beast. So let's see here. So it looks like, and I saw from the sea a beast coming up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I saw a beast rising out of the sea.
Yeah, there we go.
Translate. Okay,
Also-
you're doing it. You're doing it. That's like.
Yeah, did you guys see that? I did that.
Yeah. See.
Because
You're getting-
this one's pretty easy though, because I recognized like basically all the words. So
You're gonna recognize all the words.
well, the thing is, no, not really, right? Because the rest of it is like ekon kerata. I don't know what kerata is, so it looks like kerata is horn. Okay. So it would it be has a horn or having a horn? No, not even having a horn. So 10 of them looks like. Yeah, Deca Kai Kephalos. I don't know what even Cephalus hepta. So I don't know what Cephalus is, but it has 7 of it. So is it heads? Yeah. Okay. 12. Or sorry, yeah. 10 horns and 12 heads and
7 heads in this.
Sorry. 7, my bad. And let's see, upon his 10 heads, there were 12 diadems.
On the horns were 10.
On the horns, sorry. On the horns, yeah. So yeah, hey, listen, I'm doing instant translations here, remembering words.
Yeah,
also,
you're
Bloody
getting there though.
Yeah, Bloody, welcome into the chat. Here, you get yourself a piece of candy. That's pretty good.
Enjoy.
That's pretty good.
Ooh, a piece of candy.
Yeah, right. So
Do you have a different version of
I do.
Revelation?
Yes, I have English here. So how about we read the English? Yes.
Please.
And the dragon stood on the shore of the sea, and I saw a beast coming out of the sea. He had 10 horns and 7 heads, with 10 crowns on his horns, and on each head a blasphemous name.
Ooh.
The beast I saw resembled a leopard, but had feet like those of a bear and a mouth like that of a lion. The dragon gave the beast his power and his throne and great authority. So this is taking up, again, a lot of motifs.
Yeah, Dan 7 is the immediate inspiration for beasts arising from the sea and land, but the tradition of such monsters derives from ancient Semitic legends of the primordial chaos monsters, Leviathan and Behemoth. I will note that essentially this is in part the narrative of Enema Elish, right? Is the idea that Marduk was able to conquer an ancient sea monster and capture it.
Also, Ryan with the 666. Classic.
Thank you
classic
very
dono.
much.
And a goat.
Sacrifice of a goat.
Right. We get ourselves a goat sacrifice.
Yes. Don't sacrifice goats,
please
people.
Just, we let them go if it's just symbolic.
Just have a goat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just pet the goat. Love the goat.
Can you imagine if like Abraham's set up to like sacrifice a goat and he's like, oh man, I really don't want to sacrifice this goat, and it's such a cool goat. We go way back. I'm friends with this goat.
Mm-hmm.
And God's just like, yeah, okay. And he provides him Isaac for an offering.
Right, yeah.
Right. You got to subvert expectations, people.
So this issue of the name, right?
Yeah.
Tell
me about the name.
Yeah, that'll have a blasphemous name on it.
Mm-hmm. On its heads were blasphemous names.
Right.
Multiple. And here, let me see. There's a perverse caricature of the holy names on the foreheads of the Lamb's 144,000 followers.
How many versions of the Bible are on the desk? Well, we kind of a couple, right? Because some of them were commentaries. We have another one that I forgot to bring back over here. But there are quite a lot. I did want...
at least 5.
Yeah. And plus, if we're counting the actual versions that are in the commentaries. It's a... so the issue here with the word names, right? Sometimes it pops up as names, right? Mm-hmm. And this is, it's kind of hard to tell. Because sometimes on the one hand, the reading onoma may have arisen from the plural onomata through the accidental omission of ta and ma. On the other hand, however, the after the plural kefalas, so heads, copyists have tended to change onoma to onomata, so name to names. The two most important witnesses read the plural. However, the last 2 letters of the plural have been put in brackets in the UBS text to indicate, or in the UBS 4, to indicate uncertainty regarding the original text. So the REB, as the NIV and the TEV translates, it had 10 horns and 7 heads. On the 10 horns were 10 diadems, and on each head was a blasphemous name. Or the sense may be that more than one blasphemous name was on each head. So it gets a little weird there because we're unsure if that's supposed to be a plural or not. But I would think that it would just be the one name. That's my guess. But I'm not sure why. That's just kind of an initial feeling. But yeah, the beast is coming up out of the earth, right?
Yep.
It seems here. Let's see. Sorry. So at the end, we're gonna get the number of the beast stuff. So sorry. This first beast comes up out of the sea, and I am currently looking for the blasphemous name. Yeah. So it's 10 horns and 7 heads. On the horns are diadems, and on each head is a blasphemous name. And yeah, he notes the issue with the blasphemous name.
Like the beast's
Sexual.
appearance with multiple heads, horns, animals, which we'll get into, indicates a monstrous nature. Demons in early Judaism and Christianity were often imagined as monstrous, with multiple animal forms.
I feel like it has something to do with like paralleling it with like the name of God.
Well, yeah.
It's
That's what was noted in the commentary before. It
Yeah.
parallels the holy name stamped on the forehead of the 144 righteous.
there you go. Right. Okay.
144,000.
Fair enough.
Might as well be 144.
Yeah, basically. All right. Yeah, let's I'll continue on then. So, one of the heads of the beast seemed to have had a fatal wound. So one of them was killed in some damage to the head, some blow to the head, right? But the fatal wound had been healed. The whole world was astonished and followed the beast.
Now, usually the fatal wound, mortal wound or death blow is taken as a reference to Nero.
Right. Yeah.
Following his 68 CE suicide, popular traditions in the Eastern Mediterranean imagined his resurrection and reconquering of Rome.
There's also a possibility of it being, or at least of this being Caligula because he was ill but then recovered. That's why he was able to be worshipped again. So most writers, however, who take this, they take the slain as Nero. Yeah.
There were also several new Neros that popped up in the later 1st century.
There was also what?
Several new Neros.
New Neros. Okay, gotcha.
Jewish sources despised Nero.
Fair
universally.
enough. Fair enough, yeah. Yeah. So I've talked about the hypothesis before, so yeah, we can continue on here. Let's see. Men worshiped the dragon because he had given authority to the beast. And they also worshiped the beast and asked, who is like the beast? Who can make war against him? Oh, this is exactly paralleling the like Jesus stuff, right? Who is like God, right? Who can like
who
say
can
his
do
words.
these wondrous things.
Right, yeah, that's a fun one. That's cheeky.
Like the beast inspires worship, blaspheming holy things and persecuting the saints.
Yeah, so I guess the dragon that gave them power, that'd be Rome.
These are all
That would
ways
just
that
be
John imagines emperor veneration, whether officially prescribed or not. These views of the emperor cult recall Daniel 7:25 and 11:36 to 39, referring to Antiochus for Epiphanes. So this is still recalling a Daniel tradition.
Absolutely.
But this chapter is very Daniel-like, right? It notes here in Erdmann's the collapsing of Daniel's 4-kingdom scheme into one figure. It creates the impression of a super beast, Rome, which in effect becomes the quintessential embodiment of Satan, who, however, is already defeated as a power in 12:7 through 10. Contemporary Jewish thought likewise related the Roman Empire to the 4th beast in Daniel 7 to underscore the belief that it will succumb to divine judgment, as in 4th Ezra 11 through 12.
Right.
At the same time, John's caricature of the beast is a parody on Jesus.
Right, yeah. We're going to get more parody stuff later, too.
Yeah, he has horns and diadems. He can be represented as a lion. He's delegated power. He's worshipped alongside the dragon. He's given authority over tribes and people, languages, nations. Most significant is that one of the beast's heads appear as mortally slaughtered, death blow, mortally wounded.
Yes.
This is an imitation of Jesus, who in 5:6 is introduced as the lamb standing as slaughtered. And the Greek
Right,
here
that is true, yeah.
is very similar. The lamb as slaughtered is hos esphagmenon.
Well, I'll get that when we'll get that. We'll get there when we get there.
Well, that was
Sorry,
in 5:6.
Oh, it was in 5:6. Okay. Well, you said that would be repeated too.
Something similar to it, rather.
Right, okay.
Very similar. It's hos esphagmenen eis thanaton.
Okay. All right. Gonna continue on here. So, where was I? Right. The beast was given a mouth to utter proud words and blasphemies and to exercise his authority for 42 months. So once again,
42 months
Yep.
being, that's like a jubilee of months.
yeah.
Yeah.
He opened his mouth to blaspheme God and to slander his name and his dwelling place and those who live in heaven. He was given power to make war against the saints and to conquer them. And he was given authority over every tribe, people, language, and nation.
Mm-hmm.
All inhabitants of the earth will worship the beast. All whose names have not been written in the book of life belonging to the Lamb that was slain from the creation of the world.
They really do not comprehend the idea of people not worshiping something, do they?
Well, if you're not worshiping something, you're worshiping the beast. Are you worshiping the beast? Well, I mean, actually, we are. I mean, we got these.
You gotta worship yourself.
These
I am the
horns.
beast.
Right? Yeah.
These are my real horns.
Maybe you're one of the beasts and I'm the other one. Because this is the one from the sea. Gonna have one from the land.
Well, there's Leviathan and the behemoth, right?
Right? Yeah.
What's the function of the behemoth?
There have been a few interpretations of that. It could have just been like,
A boss fight?
kinda, yeah. But the boss fight is like, well, here's like the quintessential or the platonic form of a dangerous animal.
Mm-hmm.
That was one
It's
of the
overcoming nature.
Yeah.
Establishing our superiority over all of the animals.
It could be that, yeah.
Yes.
So let's see here. So once the Roman state had taken on a religious significance, it was only natural that it should begin to demand worship. So yeah, there, as was noted, there were a bunch of imperial cults, and some of them official, some of them not. And at least the ones that I could find a record of, there would have been 7 of them up until the time of this writing. So I think that there were specific ones that were like chosen in, like, I think John specifically had people in mind when he was talking about like the heads, as in my summation would be the ones with imperial cults. But yeah, it was perfectly natural to demand worship and stuff. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like there is much of a. I mean, he essentially deified himself, right, and stopped people from worshiping on their own. Given authority over all the peoples. Yeah. What?
Well, there's a series of 12 things, followed by one thing that is like this solitary thing that stands on its own.
What is
at
that
least
thing?
equal to it, right?
Yeah, what is that thing?
Which is exactly what we ran into in the Apocalypse of Adam.
Yeah, which we have been talking about quite a lot.
Yeah, we have been talking about it quite a lot.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes. There's an interesting parallel with Philip of Macedonia. There is apparently some Egyptian tradition, but the details are
murky.
At best.
Can't really find the source exactly for that. So
I've seen a paper where they say it in there, but
No citation.
Yeah, it's not useful.
Right. Yeah. Unfortunate. So, gonna continue on here. He who has an ear, let him hear. If anyone is to go into captivity he will go. If anyone is to be killed with the sword he will be killed. Okay.
It's saying that
I get it.
Yeah, I got
what's
it.
gonna happen is gonna happen.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Brilliant.
There's gonna be a parallel.
Okay. This calls for patient endurance and faithfulness on the part of the saints. So that is the end of that section. So unless did you have anything more to say on that section? No. Okay. So now we can get into the beast of the earth. Yeah. So this vision is linked directly to the preceding. However, the image material in it is not taken from Daniel 7, and neither the Old Testament nor the extra-canonical Jewish literature, nor the extra-canonical Jewish literature offers correspondences to its context. A remote similarity is found at most in Job 40 through 41, where two mythical beasts are described: Leviathan, which lives in the sea, and Behemoth, a hippopotamus-like monster that dwells on the land. But there's no allusion to this passage.
Yeah, hippopotamus is freaky, man.
They are very dangerous.
They could chomp your head right off.
Yes, they certainly can. Yeah.
Zero effort.
People don't really give the hippo as much respect as it
I
deserves.
think it's because it looks ridiculous.
It does look ridiculous, yeah. I'm going to blame the hippo for that.
Great.
All right.
Blame natural selection.
Yeah. Fuck you, evolution. Let's continue on to the beast from the earth. This is starting from verse 11. Then I saw another beast coming out of the earth. He had two horns like a lamb, but he spoke like a dragon.
Ooh.
He exercised all the authority of the first beast on his behalf and made the earth and its inhabitants worship the first beast, whose fatal wound had been healed. So
the land monster, a version of the biblical behemoth in Job 40 and 1 Enoch, resembles the lamb and mimics the miracles of the two prophets, but it encourages idolatry. Perhaps this beast...
just to finish off the little reference there for a little more context. And he performed great and miraculous signs, even causing fire to come down from heaven to earth in full view of men.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps this beast is meant to represent some aspects of the Roman Empire.
Yeah, this one's hard to say, right? Because he's somehow supporting the first beast, which was Nero. So if we're doing this in like this kind of historical analysis, right? Then I don't know enough about Nero to say like, oh, did he have like the specific general or something, right? That went out and achieved all these things.
So according to some, the second beast symbolizes religious power in the service of secular authorities. According to others, he is the personal false prophet. He appears.
I feel like
he attempts to appear gentle and harmless, having the features of the lamb. It speaks like a dragon. See Jesus' warning in Matthew 7:15 about ravenous wolves who come in sheep's clothing. Well, that's one interpretation.
Yeah, I feel like there's another explanation here. Maybe about yeah, you know what? They could see it as like when you were talking about new Neros, right? Like you could have an issue with one of the later emperors being seen as a new Nero, right? So I mean, to me, because I placed this under the reign of Domitian, the text itself, and it kind of seems here that let's see, the second beast, of course, has no might of its own; it's given the power, right? As the latter proclaimed to the crucified one to all the world, the second beast has the task of bringing the inhabitants of the whole earth to worship the first beast with the mortal wound that has healed. The latter is a reference to the cult of Caesar, whose primary area of practice in the 1st century AD became Asia Minor. The ideological cultic increase of the empire's power, personified in the emperor of the time, encountered a particularly favorable fertile soil in the form of local cults of similar destruction. After the cult of Caesar had achieved its initial high point under Caligula, it reached a renewed intensification under Domitian. This is documented externally by the imposing dimensions of the cultic image of Caesar in the temple at Ephesus. Hold on. I'm trying to think. Was there? I feel like there was a reference to something being in the new temple in one of like the letters. I don't think it was in the letter to the Ephesians, but I remember there being. Wait, hold on. It was at the beginning, right? It was at the beginning of this book, right? They're talking about something new being in the temple.
Mm-hmm.
All right, whatever. I think it was that. Man, I vaguely remember these things because like we're intaking so much of this stuff at once.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone remembers what I'm talking about, it was supposed to be like the Abomination of Desolation, right?
Yeah,
but of course,
I recall what
different
you're
time
talking
period.
about.
Yeah. Continuing on here. So the head, which has remained intact, is almost 4 feet tall, and the entire statue must have been around 23 feet tall. Domitian was also the first Caesar to give himself the righteous title Dominus ac Deus, Lord and God. Precisely this development, which is not conceivable without a great display of nationality-managed religious propaganda, may be presupposed here. So it seems like this one is just supposed to be just like a redo on that stuff, right? So if you're writing under the reign of Domitian and you're all like, hey, if you're writing under the reign of Domitian and looking back onto like how awful Nero was, I guess you could present Domitian's reign as like, he's just as bad, or he's just doing the same stuff that Nero did. What? No, we're just atheists, buddy. We're just atheists.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he's asking if we're non-believers, right? Are you theistic Satanists or just atheists? Just atheists. Yeah, the reason we're doing all this is because we're gonna get to it. We've already kind of talked about it.
Yeah, we've encountered Satan multiple times in these chapters.
Yeah, but we're gonna get to the most.
Yes.
The best part is at the end of this.
Please get to
chapter.
it.
I will get to the end of this chapter. If I can find where I was, that would be nice. Here it is. Here's where I was. So with verse 14, because of the signs he was given power to do on behalf of the first beast, he deceived the inhabitants of the earth. He ordered them to set up an image in honor of the beast who was wounded by the sword and yet lived. He was given power to give breath to the image of the first beast so that it could speak and cause all who refused to worship the image to be killed. He also forced everyone, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, and here's where we get really, really interesting, to receive a mark on his right hand or on his forehead so that no one could buy or sell unless he had the mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of his name. This calls for wisdom. If anyone has insight, let him calculate the number of the beast, for it is man's number. His number is 666.
Ooh.
Oh,
Silky.
So the identification here, right? That number, that identifying thing. I should know before we get into it. But the number is to be identified through gematria, which is the practice of associating a letter with a numerical value. And I go over this very much in depth in the Revelation video.
But in case you need a little refresher, 666 represents a gematria, Jewish numerology of the name Nero Caesar, using the numerical equivalents of the Hebrew letters underlying the Greek, spelling in Nero's name. Caesar Neron, spelled in Hebrew as Kof, Samek, Resh, Nun, Resh, Vav, Nun. The numerical values are 100 plus 60 plus 200 plus 50 plus 200 plus 6 plus 50 equals 666. If the final nun is omitted, spelling Nero rather than Neron, the numbers add to 616.
Right. Yeah.
John assumes the audience is capable of decoding this number and understands that the beast must be Nero returned from the dead.
Yeah. So, the sum of Neron Caesar or Caesar Nero is 666. This explanation was surprisingly confirmed by the discoveries at Murabaat, in which precisely the style assumed here appears. Furthermore, it has the advantage that it can also explain 616 in the Latin pronunciation of the name. One read Nero, not Neron. So,
let's
that's a fun one. There is a manuscript, a Greek manuscript that I'm not sure about its provenance. I'd have to check, but there is a Greek manuscript that the oldest one we have actually of Revelation, the oldest manuscript or fragment, whatever, from the 2nd century. Is it from the 2nd or 3rd century? No, from the 3rd century. Is it? I forget when, but it's very early, and it does have our earliest one is 616. I think that because of the amount of numerology that's used in in Revelation, I think that the idea of it being 666 initially makes far more sense.
Others,
just as how he would write
some
it.
take 666 as a symbol of Trinity, of evil and imperfection.
Right,
as
yeah.
Each digit falls short of the perfect number 7.
Right, yeah.
That explains everything.
Which, if you didn't know anything about biblical literature, everything that I just said would have sounded like the most nonsensical gobbledygook.
Any specialty fields like that.
But
I also want to
the
point out,
difference is that when it comes to biblical literature, it remains nonsensical gobbledygook, right?
well, I mean, I don't know. I think it.
All the theologians ultimately are arguing about nonsense that doesn't exist, right?
For the most part, yeah. But I do kind of like watching the show, I guess. Yeah. But I would say, so there was this thing about having this mark on their, it says on his right hand or on his forehead.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote this whole big thing on Facebook about it. I'll read it. I think you read over that one, right? Mm-hmm. So there was actually a question there's this
the restroom.
You got it.
Because I've been exposed to this already.
Yep. So there's this question posed in r/academic biblical. And I thought it would be just really nice.
I'm out of here too. I need to hear this.
I thought it'd be really nice to address. So it addressed, let's see. The person asking the question was sent a video which had David Jeremiah, an evangelical Christian who founded Turning Point for God, claiming that Revelation 13:15-17 referred to a literal mark. So he just read out the verse, right? The OP asked if there was any evidence of this being a practice, being that in order to buy or sell in the Roman market, one needed to pledge allegiance to Caesar, and upon making this declaration, they would receive a mark on their right hand and forehead. This passage has been variously understood. Mounts notes that it could derive from the practice of branding disobedient slaves or soldiers defeated in battle. That's this book right here. The word for mark, charagma, also refers to the official seals for documents, making them legal in Roloff. So perhaps this meant that no one could engage in trade without it, according to Morris. Perhaps it referred to the fact that the coins of the time were marked in very divine ways with the ruler's face on it, but no one would place coins on their forehead. So that doesn't make sense. Even with the seal documentation interpretation, this seems unlikely as well. JPM Sweet notes that there was no such ban in John's time. So there are lots of ways to interpret it, but there was actually no evidence that you needed it to buy or sell. And it would make no sense economically either. That would be the craziest restriction. Would be horrible for bureaucracy. But every commentator seems to agree this is at least a play on the Jewish practice of wearing phylacteries or tefillin, right? So you have like a little box on your arm, right, and on your head. So I was wondering, kind of where exactly these would be placed. So the practice is based on Deuteronomy 6:8. Tie them as symbols on your hands and bind them on your foreheads. But I wanted to know where exactly they would put them. So I dug up some rabbinical literature here. So the let's see, Erovin 95b notes that the Gemara comments the school of Menashe taught the following. The verse states, they cite verse 6:8. On your arm and between your eyes. On your arm, this is the biceps muscle on the arm. Between your eyes, this is the crown of the head. The Gemara asks where exactly on the crown of the head. The school of rabbi says phylacteries are placed on the spot where a baby's head is soft after birth. So that's on the top of the head. Now parallel that with on your forehead in the Greek, or in Revelation. Menachot 37. Rabbi Natan says this proof is not necessary, as it says, again, they quote Deuteronomy 6:8, and then it states, and you shall write them upon the doorposts of your house. This teaches that just as writing is with the right hand, as most people write with their right hands, so too the binding of phylacteries must be performed with the right hand. And since binding it with the right hand, this means that donning is on the left arm, as one cannot put it on to the arm that you're doing it with. So it's clear that it's going to be on. So since you're doing it with your right hand, it's going to be on your left arm and the top of your head.
Real creative with your teeth.
You could do that. But the mark is on your right hand and the boxes in between. So you get the parity, right? You get what they're trying to do. But I also want to point out that there is, if you go to, or I actually have this here, right? So there's another dimension to this. The idea of a mark or seal that determines one's fate is clearly traditional and reflects Ezekiel 9, and was traditionally thought to be a mark on the forehead. That's Collins. Ezekiel 9:3-6. Then the Lord called to the man clothed in linen, who had the writing kit at his side, and said to him, go throughout the city of Jerusalem and put a mark on the foreheads of those who grieve and lament over all the detestable things that are done in it. As I listened, he said to the others, follow him through the city and kill without showing pity or compassion. Slaughter the old men, the young men and women, the mothers and children, but do not touch anyone who has the mark. Begin at my sanctuary. So they began with the old men who were in front of the temple. So, yeah,
Wonderful.
there you go. That's that. I thought that was an interesting parallel. Kind of presenting them as the antithesis of all Judaism.
Yep.
Damn, that was a lot to read.
Yeah. Congratulations.
You know what?
We're not done yet.
What do you mean?
Yeah, we are.
With the whole Bible?
No.
That was the end.
Don't congratulate yourself yet. We got two or three more Sundays or something.
Well, at that point. Oh, but I do want to actually note this. When was this published? So if this was published in or after 2017 or 2014, no, this was 2006. Never mind. Been really looking for something to like a deeper analysis of P115. So that wouldn't be in here. They didn't discover it yet. So, but either way, I'll be looking into that more.
Unfortunate.
By the way, that is the reading for the day. Lots of great stuff today. This was everything that I hoped it would be.
It's
plus,
everything
plus Halloween
that there is. I hope you all enjoyed your candy.
Yeah, you better have enjoyed your candy. And hey, make sure you get yourself a shirt. Look at that. That's
get the shirt. Join the Patreon.
Listen,
Join the Facebook and the Twitter, or I guess it's X now. Join,
Yeah, that's
join
true.
the X.
it's true it is X.
And Discord.
Yeah, Discord,
Great.
absolutely. Make
Channel
sure
membership.
! Discord in chat. And yeah, if you're a channel member, you see that little calf thing that actually we can pull it up still, right, on OBS? Yeah, all the calf not emotes, badges should be at the very top.
Badges.
Yeah.
They're somewhere out there.
I got it. Just
Great,
a sec.
great. So yeah, these are the badges that you can get if you become a channel member. Look at that. As time goes on, you will see this evolving golden calf into ascendancy.
Yes. And don't you just want that
Yeah,
so much?
you do. You do want that so much, and
Aren't you willing to pay $2 a month?
or $1
have
even. I
that?
think like it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
Oh,
it doesn't matter.
But anyway,
You
thank
get priority posting for $2. Oh, I don't even know what that does.
me neither. We're just trying it out.
First. Me, I see it.
Yeah, just him. Either way, thank you so much for joining us.
And we will
see you
on Friday.